Ну посмотрим, что у нас получилось. Ну нифига себе, аппарат так добрый. Надо теперь его по грязюке погонять. По бездорожью. Посмотрим, на что он способен. Надо было полный привод еще поставить, чтобы уж полноценный внедорожник был. Ну так-то уже довольно-таки неплохо барханом лазит. Да, прямо даже очень неплохо. Шикарно. Так, что тут, на чем у нас прокатиться можно?
Safe to do so.
Джип мы можем вот так.
This is shaping up nicely. Time for a change of pace, though. At least at first. The next segment is about Land Rover, and we'll be starting out with the Type 3.
Красавчик, Андрюха! Че, видал, как я X5 прокачал?
Land Rover,
Задрал его по
the
самое не
British
хочу.
sports utility vehicle. But before that, they were actual utility vehicles.
Вот я думаю,
Solid,
спешите к цели.
tough
У меня
trucks,
же
unstoppable
внедорожник,
over
может
almost
поспешить
any terrain.
через лес.
In 400
Нафиг мне
meters,
объезжать.
turn left.
The Land Rover Type 3
А то это
marks
Land
the
Rover,
point
это не
where
Land
that
Rover,
shift
а ветровер
begins.
на самом деле.
And we'll be
Еле
looking
едет,
at
а?
what that meant.
Recalculating route.
Land Rovers have taken on almost every task imaginable.
Ладно, хорош
They've
его
been
нахваливать, это ведро.
generators, tractors and ambulances. They've brought peace and carried medicines to disaster zones. They've even been buses. Over 500,000 Series 3s were built, and over 70% of those are still on the road today. They were extensively exported and built under license abroad. Belgium, South Africa, even Australia and New Zealand. With a robust chassis and signature Land Rover engineering, the Type 3 also marked the first time that buyers could
Андрюх,
choose
ты хоть там
interior
прочитай,
options,
что она там
like seat belts
разговаривает, о чем толкует-то, что там Land Rover, типа такая хорошая машина, что ли?
That trend continued, and by
Ты скажи,
1982,
чтобы она не обманывала
Land
там
Rover
людей.
were offering the counter-spec Type 3. Leisure drivers could choose from such luxuries as all-cloth seats, soundproofing and tinted glass. The trend was increasingly clear, and the future of the Land Rover was starting to take shape. If you squinted, you could already see the shape of the first sports utility vehicle, the Range Rover.
Что ты будешь делать для первого спортивного
While stock
внедорожника?
Type 3
Ну,
would
караул.
never be particularly fast uphill, there is almost no hill that it couldn't climb. Or down, for that matter, if you put a proper winch on it.
Ну давай, ё-моё, едешь, кребется, а? Что тебе, на первую передачу там надо ехать? Я же
Recalculating
говорю,
route.
ветровер,
In
а не
400
Land Rover.
meters, turn right. In 100 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
Along with the Range Rover, others would follow. Discovery, Defender, and the
Что ты будешь
Freelander.
делать? Вот расхвалили,
Each a more
Все, я уже захотел
sophisticated
его
and
себе
enjoyable
купить.
utility vehicle. But none of them were a replacement for the Type 3. They were a different kind of car.
Андрюх, чё, как картинка, не сильно сыпется?
The Type 3 was arguably the first sports utility vehicle, an evolution of the design that would lead ultimately to this. The Bowler Nemesis, an off-road racing vehicle that turned into a production SUV, the Nemesis EXR. It sports a turbocharged 5-litre Land Rover Jaguar engine, crammed into a carbon fibre chassis with integral roll cage. It even has the grille, headlights and rear lights from a Range Rover.
Спрыгнул куда-нибудь красиво. За раз сразу не хватало уже нужное количество очков. И теперь уборку.
If you want to see what the Type 3 would be like if it ever stopped doing important things, this is it. And it's beautiful.
Так, Денисыч, не отвлекай, ё-моё, а то видишь, что-то у меня перевороты какие. Все, по красоте. Хорошо, Дениска, обязательно сейчас заскочу. Вот эту ерунду всю попрохожу. Все задания.
This is an all-terrain supercar. That's the only fair description for this. But that's what you get when you build an SUV with Land Rover DNA.
Ох, а сколько ж надо было на 3 звезды-то, ё-моё. Цифру что-то не озвучили. О, Женька, привет! Давно тебя не было ни видно, ни слышно. Андрюха, да, саплю тебе на ухо. Чтоб ты, Андрюшка, не скучал.
Hope you're enjoying yourself. I know I am.
Ой,
It's great to be
господи,
able to
что
just
это
focus on
такое?
telling the
Как
story
на
while
этом
someone else
вообще
handles the
ездить?
driving for once. Let's get to the next one. This time, it's Lotus.
Ё-моё!
Turn around
Бешеная
when it is safe
тубаретка,
to
а?
do so.
Lotus Engineering Limited began as many stories in British engineering do, in an old barn. The first Lotus cars were offered as kits. You built them yourself. From 1962, they began to actually build the cars themselves. The Elan Sprint showed exactly what they intended to do.
В принципе, ничего, рулится.
Designer Colin Chapman famously said, adding power makes
Жень,
you
скажи,
faster
как
on
настроить,
tracks.
такой и настрой, да?
Subtracting weight makes you faster everywhere. He knew what he was talking about.
In 100 meters, turn right. In 100 meters, turn left.
Widely hailed as one of the greatest sports cars of the 1960s, the Elan would be
Так, ну
closely
по идее
studied and
уложиться
emulated,
должен.
inspiring such masterpieces as the Mazda MX-5.
Денисыч, не отвлекай меня, ё-моё, чуть Мазду не
The
сбил,
Elan
а?
has all the energy, style, and enthusiasm you would expect. Bold, quick, and fun. So much so that they put it in the name.
Вот теперь пиши.
The Elan Sprint was a financial as well as an engineering success for Lotus,
Вот серьезно
validating their
аппарат.
approach to design and resulting in a whole family of light, agile roadsters. Which brings us to this, the Lotus Exige. It's heavier than the Elan, admittedly, but it's faster. Much, much faster. Touch the pedal, the Exige responds with instant, relentless acceleration, as you'd expect.
Pedal to the metal, not as easy as it looks.
Так, ходят тут всякие, отвлекают от дел. Сколько там секунд потерял? 35 секунд, ё-моё, надо начинать заново.
Touch the pedal, the Exige responds with instant, relentless acceleration, as you'd expect. With a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds.
Дениска, ты что, жракать пошел? Признавайся.
170 before upgrades and tuning. The Exige is uncompromising. And there's no power steering, so you can really feel the road. A genuinely thrilling drive, and one that isn't afraid to demand you take it seriously.
200 meters. Turn left. Turn left.
Короче, нам было ехать в поле очень, правда. А я как умный по дороге.
In 400 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
And with rumoured launches of 2 new cars in 2020, Lotus looks set to push the benchmark of the experienced sports car well into the next century.
Андрюх, ну так и надо, как говорится, друг дружку поддерживать. Так смотри, и что-то получится общими усилиями и силами. Кстати, Андрюх, что там, как дела обстоят с твоими подписчиками? А то ты в последнее время что-то жаловался, то, что уходят.
Done much rallying? That's a joke. We've all seen what you've been up to. We're doing the next bit on location. You'll see why when you get there.
Так, ну у меня же настоящий внедорожник. Значит, полетели. На таком танке хоть куда. Единственное, нужно было его делать полным приводом. Не думал, что его на гонке выставят. А я все думаю, где что самое мое единственное дерево? Когда же это уже произойдет, а? Роман, сейчас 5 секунд, обязательно прочитаю все сообщения, что-то засада какая-то. Ну что сказать, достойно он себя показал, мне понравилось. Нужно установить на него полный привод и огонь. Жара машина.
Ford, that most American of cars. But the Ford Escort, Oh, that's
Да,
British.
конечно, Роман,
And
можно
more than
погонять.
The Escort
А
will become
лучше
for
всего,
many
ты знаешь,
synonymous
что
with
подскажи
Group B.
своему отцу пойти тебе
In the
сейчас
70s,
купить икса в
Ford had
М-видео.
embraced
Он
that
сейчас
destiny
идет по
so
Черной
firmly
Пятнице.
that they'd begun their own
И со
championships to
скидкой
find new
в
drivers.
10 тысяч
Drivers for
рублей.
cars
И
like the
плюс
RS
допом тебе идет
1800.
Forza Horizon 4 и Лего.
This was a car designed explicitly for rallying, with a powerful fuel-injected
грунтовых дорог,
1790cc
я понял.
Cosworth B.
Так, давайте все заново. Поздно они написали то, что нужно держаться определенных дорог. Так что, Роман, подскажи своему отцу пойти купить
This was a car designed explicitly
поскорей,
for rallying,
пока
with a
акция на него
powerful
хорошая.
fuel-injected 1790cc Cosworth
А то потом
BD
опять будет с
engine.
ракет стоить. Что какой-то жутко, агрессивный.
Homologation rules required that all cars entered into the group be production, so Ford built 200 of them.
Ну,
The RS 1800
Ну,
brought
всё.
home 17 World Rally
Чётненько.
Championship victories for Ford.
ну ты ему так намекни, скажи, бать, хочешь
of course,
червонец
Ford
сэкономить?
set out to
Иди в
design a
магазин
better one.
сейчас.
The RS 200 Evolution was their answer. A purpose-built rally car designed to do one thing: win Group B. With a 1.8 turbocharged Ford Cosworth BDT engine and all-wheel drive, the RS 200 had perhaps the best suspension platform of any car of its era. The chassis was fiberglass from Reliant, and the massive Ford parts bin was raided to give the car that iconic look. But while the car had potential, turbo lag at low RPM and a poor power-to-weight
Интересная
ratio
машинка,
meant
хорошо
that
на
it
ней
never
прям.
placed better than
Для
third.
ралли самое то.
The end of Group B in the mid-80s meant the end of the RS 200 as a rallying car. Fortunately, Ford built over 200 as part of the homologation requirements for Group B, so you can still find them. If you're
Ну
lucky.
да, 9К. Но смотри, опять же тебе плюсом пойдет Horizon 4 и дополнение Лего. Ты эту цену тоже включи туда и получится тебе выгода, которую ты поимеешь с покупки бокса в данный момент. Да там сам смотри, как говорится, что твоей душе угодно. Мне просто нравятся машины Бэхи. Вот и все. До этого просто ездил сам на BMW. А теперь вот подумываю прикупить ее обратно. Следующую модель только.
You know, I really like this car. Not that I'd want to drive it for too long. Squeeze yourself in there and let's see just how fast you can make it go.
Нет,
Which
сам
won't be too
сделал.
fast. But hey, I could be surprised.
Прикольно получилось, да?
The P50 has the dubious honor of being the
Ё-моё, чё
smallest
за
production
табуретка?
car in the world. A one-door microcar coupe. Featuring a 42cc air-cooled engine, capable
Так, давайте,
of a
пацаны, все
heinous
выходите, надо
38
толкать.
miles an hour.
Всем
And a
дружно.
handle, so you can pick it up and carry it with you when you get to work.
Ё-моё.
And keep in mind that this is the production version. The
Это ж
prototype
что нужно
had
было
the
курить,
single
чтобы
wheel
придумать
at the
такую
front.
машину? Это
Why would you
кошмар
think that was a
какой-то.
good idea? In 2010, though, production restarted at Sutton in Ashfield. So, if you'd like to own the modern incarnation of this, I suppose you can.
Я думаю, надо будет еще видосик запилить на какую-нибудь ментовскую машину. По красоте все оформить. Единственный косяк, я так и не понял, почему-то нельзя ее тонировать, машину. Да это да, у меня есть там какое-то ведро наподобие. Тоже трехколесное. Зато вот этот как затюнил, а? Внедорожник, прям так внедорожник. Четкий.
Hey there! How about a car with some actual legroom and some actual speed? This section's about what happened when McLaren decided to make a road car. You're gonna enjoy this.
У меня там есть уже какая-то тубаретка, просто я не помню, то ли она у меня в третьей форзе, то ли в этой.
The track and the road have very different requirements. For McLaren, that was a challenge they were more than willing to embrace.
Я как-нибудь проведу стрим на Horizon 2. Там вообще шикарная вещь. Она еще идет в дубляже. Просто шикардос. Нахер я все объезжаю? Я же спешу к цели. Срочно все, срочно.
The F1 has no turbocharger. That would have compromised the driving experience, increased complexity, and resulted in turbo lag. The F1 is a naturally aspirated supercar, one of the fastest in the world, in fact.
Turn right. In 400 meters, turn left.
McLaren's racing heritage is so deeply ingrained in this machine that when they took it to Le Mans in 1995 and faced off against purpose-built racing machines, they won.
Блин, ну графика прям вообще шикарная. Просто слов нет.
So, with something like the F1 to live up to, where do you go next? Well, you throw the book away again and write an even better one. The result is the McLaren P1, a hybrid electric sports car that stands head and shoulders above the F1. The P1 GTR will hit 60 miles an hour in 2.4 seconds. That's 0.7 seconds faster than the F1. That's an eternity for a supercar.
At the roundabout, take the third exit. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Remember those problems with turbo lag? McLaren solved that with the hybrid drive. While the turbos build pressure, the electric motor drives the wheels. No turbo lag, just torque. And because it's a hybrid, it has an all-electric range. Running on batteries alone,
да почему? Хороший аппарат.
A bit more if you're going downhill.
Ты просто его вживую не видел, там вообще шикарно. Так, давайте мне ментовской гудок и все. Жизнь удалась. Да что ж ты будешь делать? Нахер мне это надо? Да, берите джинсы и ни в чем себе не отказывайте, да?
I quite like sleeper cars. Did Alex ever tell you the story of what we got up to in Colorado? There was this sleeper car competition, you
Вот
see.
попелек.
Let's just say no one was ready for the sunbeam.
Дениска, ты здесь?
Lotus never quite let go of the upgrade game. So in addition to building their own supercars, they upgraded cars from other marques too. The Lotus Carlton was one such aftermarket upgrade. Lotus took a respectable four-door Vauxhall saloon and turned it into a supercar. From the outside, there are a few signs that this is something special. Wider wheel arches, that sort of thing. But under the bonnet, that's where the magic starts. Engine capacity was increased to 3.6 litres, and twin Garrett T25 turbochargers were added. The engine block was reinforced, and new crankshafts were forged by Opel and machined in Germany.
Эх, косяк, а тут проехать нельзя. Придется ехать по правилам. А что делать? Да ладно, еще я буду объезжать.
The tires were widened, and the tire compound from the Lotus Esprit was used. To handle
так, ну теперь-то, надеюсь, сократить-то можно. Дениска, ты гонял здесь? Дровосеками немножко работает.
Only 950 of these custom gems were built, and they've become something of a modern classic. The Lotus Carlton was an example of how to turn a saloon into a supercar, but that's not the only thing Lotus got up to. In 1979, Chrysler approached Lotus to create a strict rally version of their Sunbeam three-door hatchback. Lotus, as you might imagine, rather enjoyed the challenge. They took the rear-wheel drive hatchback and changed everything that matters. They stiffened the suspension, improved the anti-roll bars, and widened the transmission tunnel.
Ага, нельзя так, да? И это нельзя. Хорошо.
Hatchback and changed everything that matters. They stiffened the suspension, improved the
Роман, подожди, отвлекайся на сообщение, сейчас закончу гонку.
Bars and widened the transmission tunnel. They took the rear-wheel drive hatchback and changed everything that matters.
Forza так просто взял погонять. Мне нравится. Я их коллекцию себе собрал. Поэтому я говорю, нужно как-нибудь стрим сделать по второй Forza. Там тоже все сделано красиво. И еще огромный плюс, полный дубляж самой игры.
resulting in an impressive 250 brake horsepower, up from a meager 105 on the originals.
Блин, машина бедрища
Republic
вообще.
in 1979 in Geneva to widespread praise in the motoring media.
Что ты будешь делать?
More importantly, the Lotus Sunbeam saw racing success too. In 1980, Henri Toivonen won the 29th Lombard RAC Rally in his Sunbeam. It almost makes you wonder if Lotus should do more conversion. That's a silly question, actually. Lotus should do more conversions. In fact, I'll call them right now. I honestly think these might be some of the most beautiful cars in the world. And the story of how it came about is, well, really British. Get in the car and let's get this segment. Jaguar is a bit of a favourite of mine. The company is almost 100 years old and was originally founded to build sidecars for motorcycles. But this is the car that really set the bar, I think. The 1961 E-Type. When he saw it, Enzo Ferrari called it the most beautiful car in the world. High praise indeed. He wasn't alone in his admiration. Accolades have followed this car ever since. It's been in movies, comics, games, and TV shows. Unlike some later cars in the marque, it wasn't just looks though. The E-Type was light and fast. It would do 153 miles an hour and stopped on innovative four-wheel brakes that were better than anything Ferrari or Porsche or even Mercedes-Benz had. It was solid too, with a design based on the D-Type that won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 3 years in a row.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Anyone who owns an E-Type will tell you that the key to their reliability is to drive them regularly, as if you'd need the excuse. About 2,500 were built, and they're a common sight at auto shows, and surprisingly reasonably priced. All in all, an almost perfect Jaguar. The E-Type was the successor to the Le Mans winning D-Type. But what would that look like if Jaguar designed it today? In 2013, Jaguar answered that question with the F-Type Project 7, a spiritual successor to the E-Type, and designed from the ground up to be the purest, most enjoyable Jaguar yet. The car's heritage is proudly displayed in the gorgeous D-Type curves and the distinctive aero hunch behind the driving position. But like the E-Type, it's not just a pretty place. Powered by a 5-litre V8 supercharged engine, with a fully aluminium body, it's blisteringly fast, with a 0 to 60 speed of 3.8 seconds and a top speed of 186 miles an hour. A car as beautiful as this must surely have been a carefully authored design. Actually, it started as a sketch by designer César Pierri, thrown together one Friday in his free time. Jaguar's design director, Ian Callum, saw the sketch in a thumbnail on César's computer during a meeting and asked him what it was. The rest is history. Project 7s were built, as both a successor to the E-Type and as a celebration of Jaguar's victories at Le Mans.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
I think I speak for all of us when I say, thank heavens for César's Friday afternoon doodle.
Да все живые, Андрюх, все на месте. Просто немножко притихли, видишь, гонка напряженная была.
Get in, strap in, and let's nail this one. There is one car built in Great Britain that is quite fairly considered one of the most influential cars of the century.
Turn left.
It's a surprisingly spacious little city car with a side-mounted engine. It's an icon of popular culture. It's been built on every continent where there's a car factory. It's the Mini. The Mini Cooper S was built to be a performance machine with deeper engines, twin carburetors and front disc brakes. This scrappy little machine would go on to achieve more than 30 racing victories in the 1960s and 1970s. That was not bad, but could we make it a little more majestic? One car built in Great Britain that is quite fairly considered one of the most influential cars of the century. It's a surprisingly spacious little city car with a side-mounted engine. It's an icon of popular culture. It's been built on every continent where there's a car factory. It's the Mini. The Mini Cooper S was built to be a performance machine with deeper engines, twin carburetors and front disc brakes. This scrappy little machine would go on to achieve more than 30 racing victories in the 1960s and 1970s.
In 400 meters, turn right. In 100 meters, turn left.
Как не справились,
You're
ё-моё,
right,
на
not to
дорогу
worry,
вышел, все
reset and let's try
хорошо.
another take. There is one car built in Great Britain that is, quite fairly, considered one of the most influential cars of the century. It's a surprisingly spacious little city car with a side-mounted engine. It's an icon of popular culture. It's been built on every continent where there's a car factory. It's the Mini. The Mini Cooper S was built to be a performance machine with deeper engines, twin carburetors and front disc brakes. This scrappy little machine would go on to achieve more than 30 racing victories in the 1960s and 1970s. A Mini Cooper S flying number 37 placed first at the 1964 Monte Carlo Rally. Driven by Paddy Hopkirk and Henry Liddon, this was the last time an all-British crew would win the event. But not the last time a Mini would. At Monte Carlo in 1966, Minis took the first, second and third positions. They were all disqualified because they had dimming headlamps. Not because they were winning everything in sight. In 1999, the Car of the Century Award was presented to the most influential car of the 20th century. The Mini came second. It was beaten by the Model T Ford. That's fair, I suppose. 5.3 million Minis would be sold, making it the most popular British car. And then in 2000, BMW resumed production of the Mini, breathing new life into the iconic marque. If the Mini of the 1960s had its sights set on the roads of Monte Carlo, the X-Ray Countryman has its eyes on something a little tougher. The deserts and rough terrain of the Dakar, for starters. A wit once said that the only thing Mini in this monster was the pedal. That's rather missing the point, I think. The X-Ray Countryman is much, much bigger than the Mini Cooper. It has to be. A stage of the Dakar demands literally tons of gear. You could call it a tank. It does rather sound like one. Division set out to build this thing, they had one goal in mind: winning the Dakar. And they did, every year, from 2012 to 2015.
In 400 meters, turn right.
It's designed to be driven for 2 weeks over deserts and badlands, 5 kilometers above sea level. And it still handles like a hot hatch on a nice bit of dry airspace. Owners come and go. The heritage of a car like the Mini is more than who owns the keys to the shop. I fully expect to see Mini's wings flying for another century. This is quite the story. Bentley at Le Mans in the 1930s. Gentlemen racers, heroic driving, and a personal hero of mine. Take good care of the cars, though. Both of them are mine. Bentley, a company founded in 1919 in Cricklewood, North London, and purchased by Rolls-Royce in the 30s. A company synonymous with both racing and luxury. Perhaps the best example I know of those two extremes of British engineering. For almost a century, every Bentley was hand-built to exacting standards. So at the beginning of the 21st century, when Bentley revealed their first mass-produced car, there were a great many questions. The car was the Continental GT, an elegant grand tourer that combined a racetrack pedigree with exquisite style and all the power you could need. The move to mass production has done nothing to blunt the Bentley experience. The 2017 Continental Supersport is responsive, fast, and beautifully designed. It brings together all-wheel drive,
Андрюх, ну что я тебе могу сказать? Как всегда, без проблем.
But never forget, Bentley's pedigree is racing, and the Bentley Continental embraces that. In 2007, a largely standard Continental Speed GT broke Bugatti's record for the flying kilometre on the frozen Baltic Sea. And then in 2011, they broke their own record. 205 miles an hour, both ways, on ice. Even when building these gorgeous Grand Tourers, Bentley is driven to excellence. Today, Bentley means modern, peerless luxury and elegance. But that's far from the full story. A century ago, Bentley meant something else entirely. It meant Le Mans. In 1930, eccentric race team owner Dorothy Paget financed a rather special Bentley at Le Mans. It was a 4.5-litre supercharged masterpiece, driven by Sir Henry Bentley Boy Birkin. It posted the fastest time on the day, but it failed to finish. But what a race it was. Sir Henry's courageous driving forced Rudolf Caracciola's 7-litre Mercedes out of the race at the cost of his own victory.
Арин, ты меня поняла? Я Кристине куплю Xbox, тебе нет. Будешь у нее спрашивать, можно поиграть или нет.
Sir Henry knew he didn't have anything to prove. In 1920,
Хорошо, Андрюх, скажу.
Mrs. Mary Victor Bruce had already driven the resolutely modern 4.5-litre Bentley at Montpellier, setting distance, speed, and endurance records. The Bentley's performance so annoyed Ettore Bugatti that he called it the world's fastest lorry. The blower had the last laugh, though. In 2012, it was sold at auction for over 4 million.
У тебя есть свой папка.
Which is more than enough to buy a Veyron and a racing truck, if you're keeping score.
Like I told them, can't make a film about car culture around here without you in it, can they? I'll let you know if they need you back.
Ну, если будешь хорошо учиться, я думаю, обязательно купит. Нет, просто я им обещал купить такой же, как у меня. Я думаю, они сейчас попросят сначала купить такой же Xbox, как у меня, а потом такой же и телевизор. Ну вот, молодец. Зато видишь, какая у тебя стимуляция хорошая есть. Батек, наверное, говорит тебе, закончишь год с отличием, будет тебе Xbox, да? Хотя я тебе даже скажу немножко по-другому. В 13 лет я уже сам себе зарабатывал бабосы и покупал то, что хотел. Как говорится, было бы желание. Жизнь в 90-х была немножко сложна. Были свои моменты, свои впечатления. No speak English. Но, как говорится, можно пообщаться через переводчик, да? Да, вижу. Да, уже и бразильцы.
Hey, there you are. Taking a break from the Frankie Beaumont movie.
Да, Роман, ты ему пока отвечай. Пусть он пишет, а ты ему переводи. Да, поставь его. Либо сюда, либо маме отдай. Иди маме отдай.
Are you familiar with Claude Lelouch's C'était un Rendezvous? Look, I'm not usually much for art house cinema, but this is the most famous 8-minute run through Paris ever put on film.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. Recalculating route.
А не надо говорить, Роман, есть же переводчик. Переводчик в помощь.
400 meters. Turn left. Turn left.
Не, в принципе-то перевести-то я смогу. Я тебе скажу просто, как и что ему написать, что ему ответить.
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Блин, ну за это я тебе пока ничего сказать не могу. Но что-то вроде такое было, да. Сейчас гонку пройду быстренько, по карте пролечу. Посмотрим, что там есть.
Roundabout, take the second exit.
Четко пролетел.
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Doing an homage, except I'm using the most beautiful of all the capitals of Europe. What do you think?
Right, route is set.
Ну, наверное, так оно и
All I
было.
want you to do is open it up in this.
Если было бы сильно нужно, сам бы заморочился с переводом. А мы бы ему по-своему пописали, правильно?
Right, Edinburgh Rendezvous, directed by Mike Steele. Action! Now, floor it right down the Royal Mile. Across North Bridge, then hard right and into Newtown. City. Without hitting a tram, please. Oh, that was amazing. Better than I imagined. I'll invite you to the premiere, kid, but don't tell anyone you were the driver, yeah? We'll keep it a mystery forever.
Андрюха, ну-ка еще раз, это как пользоваться подпиской игрока? А, ну конечно, когда раздают, беру игрульки.
Apparently my little Edinburgh short film caused a stir. It seems the city doesn't appreciate cinema verite. They prefer you to get permission. But, well, I didn't tell them about you, and Joel smoothed the whole thing over, so... Let's get back to the movie project, shall we?
Блин, ну какая графика, а? Это просто шедевр сделали, молодцы.
Stunt unit is standing by. I'll be down shortly.
In 400 meters, turn right. When it is safe to do so. In 200 meters, turn right. Meters, turn left.
Да ничего, вроде, видишь, нормально все получается. X5 уже видел мой.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Here we are. This is a pretty complicated setup. The guys have been working around the clock. Oh, I know you can handle it, I'm just saying.
Натренировался?
So,
Бицуху
remember when I said a
забил.
lot of computer stuff? Ignore that. We've got multiple barricades, tunnels, and jumps. Keep your head in the game. If the
Красавчик.
driving's real, nothing else matters.
Right up. Scene 79A. Barricade smash. Action! Your route's safe, but try to make it look dangerous, yeah? Throw the back end around a bit. Looking good. Now, gun it through here. There's a ramp by the bridge. Jump it. Plow through the junk on the far side. Look at that sky, though.
Обо что там зацепился, что-то непонятно. Вроде пролетел четко.
Tunnels littered with big stuff. Follow the route and get some good swerves in, though. Watch out, because there's some big stuff in there, too. Now, out the final barricade and hit the jump. if this movie doesn't make much sense, I reckon people will see it just for your driving. Maybe that's what they're counting on.
Так, Андрюха, давай рассказывай, что ты там за банду сформировал. Или пиаришь свой канал с помощью моего? Признавайся. Вот смотри, какой красавчик, а. Чисто внедорожник. Так, ладно, народ, давайте, я полетел. Если получится, то вечером еще увидимся. Все, давайте, пока.